Alright guys, so we're still continuing on with this build. Got the motor setting in it. I don't remember what I talked about last. Got the motor mounts welded in. That's obviously probably not ideal for most people that are wanting to do a swap. They'd probably rather not weld to the chassis. I personally don't care. More than likely this thing's never going to get anything else other than an LS motor, so the hell with it. You know, I'm not 100% I got her in there square. I think she's pretty close, but we're going to send it. And my next, what is he barking at? Here he goes. This is what he's going to do. Watch, we're going to open the door and he's going to stop. Wait for it. What? There's nobody else in here except for Daddy. That's it. So you just sit right there. Yep. Goofball. He always does this to me. Anyways, started working on manifolds. Everybody that I've seen swap these things, they say you got to run the exhaust on the outside of the frame rails. You know, they're too narrow, blah, 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 whatever. I did find a set of stock cast manifolds that I did find a set of stock manifolds that had the flange kind of in a spot that I felt like I could make work. Obviously I'm gonna have to modify them. That side over there I'll have to put a V-band on and then cut the flange off, put a V-band on it. But you can see I've marked the frame rail there a little bit. I'm just going to do a little notch there just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room in case the motor decides it wants to move. All the stock fuel lines are over there, but those are all going to get pulled out because I'm going to run all new Dash 6 fuel line up to the motor. I did have to notch the frame a little bit here. I'm not super worried about it. You know, it's only half an inch, I don't know, quarter, whatever, however you want to, whatever. But I did have to notch that a little bit. And I did notch the transmission a little bit, and I had an idea how I was going to run the exhaust, and that's why I notched that. But now I don't even think I want to do it that way. But at least the notch will just give me a little bit more wiggle room anyways. But anyways, I've got a manifold, the stock one, you know, the truck ones actually come back and then kick out, and it will hit right on top of the frame rail. I found a different one that comes back and exits. It pretty much exits about right here, and the flange is too big, so I'm going to cut it off, and I may weld a piece of pipe to kind of dip back through here, or I'll cut it off and then V-band it, and then obviously put a pipe back through there as well. Obviously I still got to get a starter, make sure I don't get in any weird interference there. Once I get the manifold set up, I can go ahead and start making the exhaust. Yeah, anyways, let's try and get some manifolds put on this thing, get the flanges and stuff cut off, and see if we can make this exhaust fit inside the frame rails. Alright guys, so this is not pretty, but it's gonna work. Got the V-band on it. You know, parts of it you can fuse with these V-band clamps, but I'd already messed up this tube. That's all welded on. I got that all heated up and welded on yesterday. Let's just see if this thing even fits. Well, my angle on this pipe is not the way I want it. It ends up, I couldn't remember, and I tacked it, and I should have checked it once I tacked it, and I didn't, but I don't know if you can see, but this needs to be angled back this direction a little bit, and for some reason I thought I needed to angle it more towards the motor where I'd cut it, and I was rudely mistaken. So I'm gonna have to like either cut this back off, reclock this a little bit, and then maybe that'll give me the room I need. And it actually needs to point up a little bit so I can try and get more through here rather than down through here. So yeah, this needs to be back and over. So we'll try this again. Alright, so I think I got the manifolds sorted out. Here's the the passenger side one. Don't mind my professional welds there. I know they're intoxicating. But let me actually grab a piece of pipe here so we can kind of get an idea of the direction this thing's headed. Alright, so let me see. I'm going to slide this up in here. And I'm going to attempt to slide this up here. Yeah, just like that. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyways, that's kind of the direction it's gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna attempt to go above the cross member here and try and keep it in here, you know, pretty tight up here like this, and then hopefully try and bring it back. And then if I can get it back enough, I want to dump it out the bedside, but if I can't, then I'm just going to kick it out underneath the bedside there, kind of like the Boost Knuckle. And this is the old makeshift junk that I had on the Boost Knuckle. I love the way this thing sounded. It was fantastic. A lot of people would probably be like, oh my god, you had 2.5-inch exhaust into a single 3-inch. The thing made plenty of power with the blower setup on it. So I assume it'll probably, you know, it'll be fine for this. It's going to make a lot less power now. But my thought is I'm going to attempt to reuse all this, because it's just sitting here on my floor, and I'm just going to try and make all this, I'm going to chop it all up, and I'm going to attempt to make it all work inside the Danger Ranger here. So that's what we're gonna do, and that's probably gonna be another video. But anyways, obviously you can see there the fuel lines are in the way, so all that's gonna come out. All the stock fuel line stuff's coming out, and I'm gonna put a Walbro 450 in the tank. I'll do a video on that, doing the install on it, because I'm gonna put a bulkhead fitting in the top of the center unit, and I'm going to run -6 fuel line all the way up and all that. But got plenty of room up there now, plenty of room there once the fuel lines are gone, and then we'll start trying to whip out some sort of an exhaust system here. I wonder, yeah, it'll be alright, piss on it. I was going to say, I wonder, I may end up running the fuel lines outside the frame rail on the driver's side. I mean, it's never stopped me before, but just to try and keep the fuel lines away from the exhaust. But oh, whatever, we'll send it. Alright, so I'm still mocking up the exhaust here. We've got a couple pieces laid out, and I've actually got the old exit and the muffler kind of half rigged up there with zip ties and baling wire, actually welding wire, but just to kind of get an idea. My plan was to actually try and bring it out the bedside, but I'll have to move the muffler further forward. And if I do that, then I don't really have a spot to mount the muffler, you know, without cutting it all up and then completely just possibly trashing the Y pipe and, you know, all that. So I think I may end up like this. You know, it still dips down below the leaf. Obviously it's hanging in the air, so that's about as much travel as it'll get. You know, it'll probably end up being more like this, and then I'll cut it off flush with the bedside, you know, so that way it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. I don't know if I'll like that. I might sit it down on the ground and see what it looks like. But then I also got a couple pieces sort of ran. I've got this piece kind of mocked up. Don't mind the fuel filter and stuff. All that stuff's going to be gone. The only concern I have is it being pretty close to this, so I don't know, you know, if it's going to end up, you know, heating up the oil and stuff. So I may have to heat wrap this first, you know, half section of it just down to here, maybe even this section of it, to try and keep the heat off the transmission. But I kind of angled it away from it a little bit, and then you know, it'll just come out here, come back over here, and then it'll just come back into the muffler here, which the muffler is going to end up being probably about like that. You know, so it'll still sit up quite a ways. And then this one here is literally just a straight shot from the right bank back to this inlet here. And the truck was really, well, the Boost Knuckle was really loud before, and it was almost kind of hard to drive around town and stuff because it was so loud. So I think I'm going to get a couple little race bullets or whatever they call them, you know, kind of more or less a little resonator or something to put upstream from the muffler to try and tame that sound down a little bit of that muffler that I got on here. You know, make it a little bit easier to drive, and you know, actually be able to have the radio on and listen to the radio and stuff. But anyways, like I said, I'm just cutting up all the old exhaust. A couple little small pieces left over, you know, flex pipe and stuff. I'm gonna have to get another flex because that is so close to any of the bins that I don't want to try and cut it and salvage it. So I'm just gonna buy another flex for that side, and I need to get a couple more sticks of straight stainless, because all this is like a 309. Maybe it's not, I don't know. I don't remember what kind of stainless it is, but anyways, got a couple other pieces I'm gonna sit here and weld for the right bank, and then just keep kind of chipping away at this repurposed exhaust system for Project Gold Dust. So let's keep going. Alright, so I'll show you a little bit of what I got here. It's just kind of roughed in until I get these little bullet mufflers, but this is kind of where I'm headed with it. I'll put a bullet up here. I've kind of got it held there with zip ties. I went ahead and spliced in a V-band kind of dead center here. Before I had these actually welded up. I need to clean them up a little bit because I just rough cut them just to mock this up. But I may end up just putting clamps on these, mainly just for being able to remove a section of it and not have to remove the whole thing, because then it's kind of really awkward. That's kind of the same deal why I put this V-band right here. It would help that I could disconnect this, and you know, if I wanted to move this out of the way or something, you know, I could slide this out. Just, you know, like I said, just for accessibility there. But yeah, and then I got to figure out a hanger issue there, and you know, I've got a little section from here up to the little rest of the downpipe there coming off that manifold there. That's where my flex pipe will be, and then I'll have a bullet here and then a bullet there, and hopefully that will tame down the exhaust a little bit and whatnot. So anyways, those bullets should be here, I think it said Tuesday, which is a couple of days out because it's Sunday. And once I get those, then I'll go ahead and finish fabbing up this exhaust, and that'll be one thing we can check off the list of gold dust here. So anyways, keep on going. Oh man, we got some pieces from Amazon Prime. This is the first time I've ever used Amazon, and I'm actually pretty impressed. I ordered these last night. It had to have been, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it showed 2-day delivery, and they showed up the following day at noon. So that's pretty awesome. Anyways, oh, let me get these out of my hands. Show you what I got. These are 4 missing pieces of, voila. These are Total Flow, part number 644. They're supposed to be 2.5 in, 2.5 out, but it looks like 3 in, 2.5 out. So let me do a little test fit here. Okay, so that's 2.5 ID, and this must be 2.5 OD. And I bet they do that so you don't mix up the inlet and the outlet. I bet that's what it is, because I bet this big one says inlet on it. Yeah, if you look right there, you can see it says inlet on it. So that's kind of neat. But anyways, you find like these MagnaFlow ones and stuff like that. These things are like, I think 30 bucks online, and I bought these. They were like $11 a piece. They were having a sale on Amazon, so I bought 2 of them, and that'll be awesome. So anyways, I gotta get back to work, but then when I get home later, we'll keep going on this exhaust, and maybe I'll get this exhaust wrapped up tonight. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep following along. Comment, like, subscribe. Hit the thumbs up or something. I guess that's the thing too. Anyways, we'll see you guys later.